The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, is currently embarking on a revenue mobilization exercise to recoup monies owed them. The move has received several accolades from the public. The installation of transformers by the ECG across the country is also key in their work to supply power into homes. But the Ledzokuku Municipal Assembly is worried about transformers springing up at unauthorized places.
Normally, any work like that goes on must acquire permits from the assembly. We and the ECG are all government agencies. We work together, hand in hand. And therefore, this confusion ought not to have happened. But what's happening is that construction, they have built concrete walls. In fact, permanent structures to protect their transformers. Now, the challenge is that some of the transformers are already poorly or wrongly located. And so building the wall around it, it's almost as if you are adding insult to injury. The transformer itself is wrongly located and you have protected it with a big concrete wall. We've written to them to stop and to approach us so that we can sit together and look at ways we can relocate those transformers in order to preserve our roads and our pavements from being obstructed by the cement walls that ECG is constructing.
The Chief Executive, Mordecai Kwashi, wants the ECG to seek permits from the Assembly before any installation of transformers.
So we are in support of what ECG is doing. We work hand in hand with them. We appreciate what they are doing. All we are asking is that they approach the Assembly and go through things the right way in order to ensure that the structures, when they build them, are properly located and they are properly authorized. As of now, those structures are not authorized structures. They are illegal structures, and eventually we will remove them. We have invited the municipal manager to our office, and he came. Apparently, he also didn't know anything about it, so he couldn't assist us very much. But along with him, we are trying to find out who to talk to in order to ensure that the right thing is done, because the Assembly cannot allow those that illegality to continue to exist. So if we don't hear from them soon, we will have to just remove the offending structure. We are hoping and praying it will not come to that. We are hoping and praying that we can engage.
Meanwhile, the Assembly has also begun demolishing structures on waterways in the municipality to pave way for the expansion of drains. The Assembly says the decision forms part of its preparations to avert the perpetual flooding it records in the rainy season.
Last year, there was a major flood here. But now that the rains are about to come, it is imperative that we actually effect the removal of the structures and widening of the channels. You see, these structures they are constructed by the Busy Mouth. You know, he has built almost to the culvert, right into the drain. That structure blocks water from flowing. Remember that we are expanding the even without touching, his structure blocks the flow of water. Most people who have lived in this estate to know that since that structure came, flooding here began. As a result of that, it is necessary, crucial or critical for us to at least demolish those structures to the extent that the structures enter the waterway. So we came last week and then we came to effect it. So we broke that part off in order to get space for the machine to do the work.
The Assembly is, however, worried about the numerous court injunctions it is being served with in its quest to demolish illegal structures within the area.
They were in the office and they were served with an injunction to stop the demolition work until I think the 28th of April. So as you can see, we've tried very hard to comply with the court, and we're trying to work outside it. It's making the work very, very hard. I'm only hoping that we don't get a major rainfall before the 28th of April, because if we do, then in spite of all this work that we have done, our inability to remove that offending structure would mean that it will flood again in spite of all this work that we're doing. So it is very important that we quickly resolve the legal issues so we can get back to the work of protecting and preserving lives and livelihoods of those who live in that Sango basin.